Hello, welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz and I will be guiding you on this journey. We have a couple decks and as always, we're going to ask for consent from the deck that we're going to use for these readings because, we want to be sure that the deck even has a message, that it has the energy to give us a message. So I basically just shuffle until a yes or a no card comes out. And this is a deck that I was looking for. And it was like way in the back of this one shelf that I have all of my decks on that I've been kind of transferring to this other shelf. Anyway, in the process of finding it, a couple other decks went flying. So that was fun. I'm like, I know I'm not going through all of this just for you to say no to me. So, which it has the freedom to do. So, anyway, I was like, what am I talking about? I've been kind of doing a little disclaimer at the beginning, just so we're all on the same page. We have the star. That's a yes card. Okay, good. So, we'll save these two decks for another time. So yeah, disclaimers. I'm not a psychic. I'm certainly not claiming to be, but I know these cards and my intention is to give you the message as it is coming through on the card and as it's coming through for me. I always set the intention for the message to come through me, not from me. So however which way and as many different times that comes through, I do like to explain the message of each card because not only does it help me process my thoughts, but you have your own intuition. You're the one that's living your life. So no doubt you are going to receive your own message. Now, of course, be discerning. Don't try to fit a small peg into a round hole. Really listen to that distant voice, not the loud one, not that loud one that most of us have, but the one for me, it's always like off to the right back of my head. And, it's literally, it's like just, it's neutral. It's confident. It's like, it's free of, ego, emotion, all the things, right? So that is the voice that we want to tap into, even if we sometimes don't like what it is saying. Of course, if you haven't already, I would absolutely adore you. Well, I adore you anyway, but I would adore you even more if you subscribe to my channel. Truly, it is an energy exchange. And of course it helps me grow. So it's, just this circle of, growth, because hopefully these messages are affirming or confirming for you, because sometimes too, we just need to have confirmation or affirmation that what we think is going on is actually going on. And that way it frees up the mind space. It frees up our energetic space to be able to focus on the next thing. And truly, I do think that at least the messages that I give are more so along those lines, so that you can be like, oh, okay, that is actually happening. So what's next, right? Like, what do I want to do with this? What can I now focus my time, my energy, my everything on, instead of like staying in this this loop of, is this happening or no? And with all that being said, I know I also didn't get around to the human design profile readings last time around. Life, we roll with it. So hopefully I'll be able to get around to those this time, because I'm sure those were missed. And okay, let's get into the reading. Great. So This is the reading for Aries, wherever Aries is in your chart. I hope you're all doing well. I know you got Neptune and Saturn getting started in Aries. We not taking all this. So yeah, I mean, I hope that it's going okay. That's my 10th house. Career, public image, that type of shit. Like, I don't know. I'm just rolling with it. We have the 3 of Wands. That reminds me of Pirates of the Caribbean. Which one, though? The one where, with Calypso? Huh. I knew I should have brought my laptop in here. Ooh, interesting. We have the Ace of Cups flipped around in the reverse. This card, this Ace of Pentacles, has only come out in the 2nd position. The Star. Beautiful. 9 of Pentacles. 9? 9 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. 7 of Cups. The Hermit. The Lovers. Which one, though? At World's End, maybe? Right? Because that's the one, again, Calypso, where, what's his name? What is his name? Orlando Bloom. Like, what's his character's name? Right? Like, he takes the place of, what's his name? That is really annoying. I'm sorry. Should I grab my laptop so I can I don't know if it matters. Maybe if you haven't watched that movie in a while, if you're even like, if you even like that type of thing, maybe watch that movie. Like, maybe there is something in there for you. And let me tell you why that even came about here. Because of these ships and how, like, the big fighting scene, or like when Calypso turns into like the crabs and like goes into the water, they create this whirlpool, and then the ships use that to like fight each other also. So it's kind of like the climax of the movie, right? So that's where that was even coming from. Hang on, there's somebody that just, okay. It was Amazon. But I knew my dog was gonna go crazy. Anyway, so yeah, we were talking about Calypso. Maybe I'll watch that movie again. You know what is that other guy's name? Like the squid guy. Not Davy Jones. How annoying. Okay, I got my laptop. Let's see. Cast. Will Turner. That's Orlando Bloom's character. Oh, it is Davy Jones. Okay. Okay. It's just so interesting how, I don't know, like all of that is coming through. Like Calypso is a sea goddess, right? And it wasn't until she was released that Davy Jones um, felt her, right? Like, and she was pissed because he was the one that told the pirate lords how to bind her. Interesting. I don't know. So, like, we'll move on. Thank you for going on that tangent with me. I mean, we'll move on. But like I said, like maybe there is something in those movies for you. Like I just watched the Matrix movies in succession the other day, like, and I'm like, my mind is blown. I can't even tell you how many times I've actually seen those movies, but for whatever reason, like there were just like little bits and pieces that where I was just like, oh my God, like mind blown. So yeah, maybe there's something in there for you. Anyway, the Three of Wands talks about taking actionable steps. Wands have to do with action. It's fire, right? So taking action towards something, it's the motivation behind the actions that we take, creativity, passion. How are you communicating those things? Of course, what actions are you taking towards those things? I see wands as also being information by way of experience, because that's what we get by trying things, right? Like we figure out what works, we figure out what doesn't work. What do we like? What don't we like? What stays, what goes, right? And truly the only way to figure most of those things out is by actually doing them. We can think it would go a certain way, but until we actually do it, we have no clue. So, right, like we start with the Ace of Wands, which is that spark, something new, something exciting. The Two of Wands is planning for the future. What do you want to do with that? What actions do you want to take towards that? The Three of Wands is then starting to take those actions. It could also be information coming in, like receiving communication, receiving information that you were waiting for, because sometimes it's also depicted as your ships coming in or your ship coming in, which to me equates to like an opportunity or again information, almost like a green light. Even too, like having that burst of energy that you want to put into something, even deciding the thing to put that energy into. The book says preparation, foresight, weighing options, expansion. A frog sits on a lily pad, contemplating three ships that swirl in the current. The Three of Wands tells you to keep an open mind and to consider all the choices that lay before you. There are opportunities ahead to expand your horizons. This could be learning a new skill, beginning a new relationship, or traveling to a new landscape. This is the calm before the storm. You can see the upcoming challenges associated with these new opportunities and are able to take this moment to prepare for them and to choose the best course. And what's also interesting is that this frog kind of has their little, they're holding on to the three wands here, right? And then there's a string attached to each one of these boats. Oh, yeah, it is kind of like a fishing rod. We can see the reel right here. Interesting. You could be putting feelers out there to even see like what you catch. you know, like multiple irons in the fire, which is great, honestly. I mean, yeah, like throw noodles against the wall and see what sticks, you know? Um it is interesting that the Ace of Pentacles is in the reverse though, too. And what is also really interesting is that it almost kind of seems like the imagery seems the same ish. You know, like the mouse with the pentacle here, but then this girl like is like diving into water with her hands outstretched to I mean that looks like water, but I mean that could be, of course, outer space. It's the star. I wonder if that is like supposed to be a comet or something. I wonder if the book says. I mean, we'll get there, of course, but well, chasing after the star. So there you go. I mean, like I said, we'll get to that anyway. But I just think that it is interesting how both of these images are so similar, especially coming after the Three of Wands and there's these ships in the ocean here. Like it feels like diving into something. Like truly going for it. You know, the Ace of Pentacles usually talks about a brand new opportunity. Pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's our time and our energy, because usually we use those in exchange for money. But like, how are you investing your time? Where are you spending your energy? It's your physical health, your body, you know, literally anything tangible, anything that you place worth and value on, the resources and materials that are available to you, your home, practical responsibilities, or you know, like practical earthy things. Something may like get turned upside down. Honestly, even too, like seeing something from a different perspective. Like I'm almost getting like Hanged Man vibes for some reason. Like, I mean, it doesn't necessarily feel negative. Not that reversals are ever necessarily negative, but um maybe even too, like going about things not in a traditional manner, not approaching something head on. The book says in the reversed, the Ace of Pentacles reversed, serves as a warning about lofty goals. Be wary of plans falling through and don't count on successes you have not confirmed yet. The machinations of nature may be out of your hands. You know, I mean, it very well could be like if you're over here playing in the Three of Wands, that could change the energy of the Ace of Pentacles. Like don't I keep like here, like don't talk yourself out of an opportunity, but in the sense of either saying too much, um or even like being too rigid, having blinders on. um Even like I was saying over here, right? Like about waiting for the right opportunity. It's kind of like, again, like keeping an open mind. I think did the Three of Wands talk about that? I feel like something said something about keeping an open mind. But, like if something doesn't arrive to you or isn't presented to you in the packaging that you expected it to be, like don't turn it away because it doesn't look like you thought it would. Almost to like look beyond what is being shown to you. Read between the lines. Of course, don't fit a square peg into a round hole, but like, again, if it's not being like presented to you in a way that you expected it to, maybe just investigate it a little bit further. It could even be getting clear on what your goals are. What do you want to achieve? Like, what opportunity are you waiting for? Because the Star card is the card of hope, trusting the process, faith, believing in yourself, believing in the future, like believing that things really do work out for your highest good. I see the Star card as being that literal space between the 5D, where we do manifest, we do consider, the possibilities, let our imaginations kind of, like go crazy. And then the 3D, where we are in the real world, life, So it's like the Star is the literal space between the 5D and the 3D where we are. And it's, like working on bringing those manifestations down. Again, I mean, they're how did the book put it? Reaching for, or dives through the night sky, chasing after the star. This is a card of hope. The universe is looking out for you, and it is now a time of renewed self. The moment has come for you to look towards your future and leave behind the hard times you've been through. Disagreements, money troubles, bitterness, and shadowed times aren't enough to stifle your spirit. Your life is transforming and filling with positivity and opportunity. Now might be the ideal time to invest in yourself and your plans. Your dreams are important. Don't wait for someone else to validate them. And that could very well be like what is happening with this Ace of Pentacles. There could be something that you do want to go towards. Again, I mean, you could very well be trying to like get clarity on like what it looks like for you to earn an income. How do you want to, again, invest your time? And how do you want to be compensated for that? Again, like what resources and materials are available to you. Did the lights just flicker, or was that me blinking? And again, like, right, I hope you can see what I'm talking about. Like how this mouse and the pentacle, this person diving for the star. Because if the Ace of Pentacles was upright, this is how it would look. Also, too, know your worth. Don't accept anything less than that. If they're not offering proper compensation, don't take the job. I know that can be stressful, but don't back down. Don't take something. Keep trying, Because truly, like the thing that you are reaching for here, it's like literally almost in her grasp here, like at her fingertips. He, she, they, And we also know that because we have the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, which is financial success, independence, luxury, abundance, like all those things where, it's like having your cake and eating it too, kind of. Nines are individual completion. So it is you feeling comfortable with your success, having enough, more than enough to take care of yourself, being able to comfortably afford things, like again, your health, being on the up and up, like having a good routine that way, being able to breathe. What was behind here? Seven of Cups, having options. Yeah, I mean, even to like having the emotional capacity to like consider multiple areas of your life too. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.